moving to SA 501, that is, see, SA 501 also deals with audit evidence only, but with respect to certain selected items. Okay, it deals with specific consideration for selected items. What are those selected items? There are three selected items that will be dealt by SA 501. Let us see. Objective as per SA 501. Yeah, see, SA 501 deals with obtaining sufficient and appropriate audit evidence regarding the following assertion with respect to this specific item. See, with respect to existence and condition of inventory. Next, completeness of litigation and claims, presentation and disclosure of segment information. Okay, with respect to these three selected items, how to obtain audit evidence, that will be dealt by SA 501. So what are those three selected items? One is inventory. With respect to inventory, which assertion we will be dealing with? Existence and condition of inventory. Second item is litigation and claims. In this regard, which assertion? Completeness of litigation and claims. That means whether all the litigations and claims have been properly disclosed or properly considered in the financial statements or not. Whether there are any litigations and claims that have been hidden, you will find out that, right? How to perform audit procedures and how to obtain audit evidence with respect to that. And finally, the third selected item is segment reporting. Okay, presentation and disclosure with respect to segment reporting. We'll see these three items. Firstly, if you see here in this standard, inventory aspect is very important. The remaining two items are not that much important. Yeah, starting with inventory, existence and condition of inventory. Now just think, in order to obtain audit evidence with respect to inventory, what audit procedure you will perform? You will physically verify the inventory, right? You will visit physical verification of inventory. The same is suggested by standard also. See, obtain sufficient appropriate audit evidence regarding existence and conditions of the inventory by attendance at the physical inventory count. Now, by attending at the physical inventory count, what should you do? You have to evaluate the management's instructions and procedures for inventory counting. Now, for counting the inventory, management would have been following certain procedure and policy. So you have to evaluate whether that procedure that is being followed by the management for counting the inventory is correct or not. Okay, for this purpose you will attend the inventory counting. Next, you have to observe performance of count procedures. Now the staff of the management will be performing inventory counting. You have to stand and observe whether they are properly conducting inventory counting or not. Next, you have to do inspection of the inventory. Okay, you should also inspect. Let's say there are boxes. In the boxes there are some 10 products. Okay, each box will be having 10 products. So the management's staff, they are counting the boxes. Now you have to check whether in that box actually the products are there or not. That is known as inspection. Next, perform test counts. You also from your side have to perform some of the test counts. Okay, by attending at the physical inventory counting, you have to do following things. Okay, these things you have to do. Next, there are certain special situations. Okay, inventory verification in certain special situations. How to deal with those special situations? Let us see. See, situation number 1. Inventory counting is done at a date other than date of financial statements. See, financial statements will be prepared as on 31st March of so and so year. Let's say 2025. Now, on 31st March 2025, this much amount of inventory is there. Right, now auditor has to obtain audit evidence with respect to this inventory, right, that is present as on 31st March 2025. So inventory counting has to be done as on financial statement date, but entities, they will do it on 29th March or 30th March or 31st March. In these 3 days, any of one day they will do, right? Now let's say if the inventory counting is not done on date of financial statement, let's say due to some reason the management have done inventory counting on 20 March 2025 only, that means before date of financial statements, or they have done inventory counting after date of financial statements like 15th April 2025. So in this situation, management has conducted physical inventory counting. Okay, physical inventory counting is done, but it is not done on the date of financial statement, right? It is done on some other date. In such a situation, what the auditor do? What the auditor has to do? Because auditor has to obtain audit evidence with respect to inventory as on the date of financial statements, right? But it is done on some other date. So in this situation, auditor has to perform audit evidence on the changes that has taken place in the inventory in this period, okay, between the date of financial statement and between the inventory counting date. In this period, some changes would have taken place. Auditor has to do audit procedures on those changes, right? Some sale of inventory might have taken place, some purchase of inventory has taken place. So you have to audit whether those transactions have been recorded properly or not, and you have to do backward calculation to arrive at whether the inventory as on this date is showing properly or not. See, perform procedures to obtain sufficient appropriate audit evidence that changes in inventory between count date and date of financial statements are appropriately recorded or not. Okay, next situation, auditor unable to attend due to unforeseen circumstances. See, management, they have conducted inventory on financial statements date only, okay, on 31st March they have conducted physical inventory counting, but auditor, due to some reason, he was not able to attend the inventory counting. In this situation, what the auditor has to do? Auditor has to conduct inventory counting on some other date and do audit procedures on intervening transactions. Okay, since auditor was not able to attend the inventory counting that is conducted by the management on financial statements date, auditor, he will conduct the inventory counting on some other date like 5th April or 10th April or 15th April, and he will do audit procedures on intervening transactions, right? See, observe some physical counts on alternative date and perform audit procedures on intervening transactions. Simple. Next, attendance at inventory counting is impracticable. Let's say in some situations, let's say inventory is present in ocean, like for some oil mining companies, oil extraction companies, their inventory will be in ocean. From ocean they will extract the oil, right? They will be having some lease with the government to extract the oil. So now inventory is present in the under the ocean, so auditor cannot visit physically and verify the inventory in the ocean, right? So in that impracticable situations, how should the auditor perform inventory counting? In this situation, auditor has to check whether he can obtain audit evidence by some alternative means. Okay, instead of physically visiting there, is there any alternative means for me to calculate the inventory? If yes, you have to obtain audit evidence by performing such alternative audit procedures. If you are not able to obtain audit evidence by alternative procedures, then you have to modify your audit opinion. Okay, alternate procedures, if not possible, modify the opinion. These are certain special cases with respect to inventory. Okay, so now there is another situation with respect to inventory only. If let's say inventory is under the custody of third party, okay, the company has sent the inventory on a consignment basis to its branch or to its franchisee, or entity has sent goods on sale or return basis. So here the inventory is under the custody of a third party, but that ownership belongs to inventory, belongs to company only. In this situation, auditor has to send confirmation request to that third party whether inventory is actually present with him or not. See, if it is material to financial statements, then request confirmation from third party, perform inspection or other appropriate audit procedure. Now, if auditor is not having confidence or auditor doesn't believe the third party's confirmation request, okay, auditor is having some doubt over integrity of the third party. In such a situation, what the auditor has to do? See, if there is doubt about integrity, objectivity of third party, and because of that auditor is not able to believe the confirmation request that is sent by the third party, in such a situation, auditor he himself can attend that place and verify the inventory, or on behalf of auditor he can send some other person to that location and verify whether inventory is there or not. Okay, see, attending or arranging another auditor to attend inventory verification, or the auditor of such third party would have verified the physical inventory that is available with that party, right? Now you can obtain a report of that auditor who have verified. See, obtain another auditors or service auditors report. Next, inspecting documentation regarding inventory held by third parties. Okay, if you are having doubt over the confirmation request sent by the third party, you can perform these procedures. Okay, by this the specific consideration with respect to selected item, that is existence of inventory, is completed. Next, moving to second selected item, which is litigation and claims, that is completeness of litigation and claims. Now see, litigation and claims means, in these litigation and claims what will happen is, some third party might have filed a case against the company and that case is still under dispute in the court. Okay, company has not accepted its obligation. If court decides that or if court decides the case against the company, then company might have to pay huge penalty to that third party, right? Some outflow of cash will happen if the case is decided against the company. So in this litigation and claims, what the company will do is, company will try to hide these litigation and claims, okay, from the auditor. So auditor has to check whether complete list of litigation and claims is shown or disclosed in the financial statements or not. So for this purpose, what audit procedure has to be performed? Okay, what audit procedures has to be performed? Let's see. Litigation and claims. Procedure to identify litigation and claims. Inquire management and others within the entity. See, the first procedure is, he will inquire the management, because management can give you the first hand information of all litigation claims that are having against the company, because they will be with the company for 24 hours, 24/7 they will be with the company. They are engaged in day-to-day aspects of the company, so they are having complete information with respect to all the litigation and claims against the company. So you will first of all inquire with the management, please give us a complete list of litigations and claims against the company. That is the first audit procedure that you will perform. Next, you will read the minutes. See, review minutes of meetings of those charged with governance, correspondence with legal counsel. Now there is possibility that management might not give you complete list of litigation claims. So what you will do is, you will take minutes of meetings of those charged with governance and management. Now in those meetings, they would have discussed about some litigations, right? If they have discussed about some litigations, that will be entered in the minutes, right? So by reading the minutes, you might come to know about some new litigation and claims against the company, and you will also consult with the entity's legal counsel. Okay, entity might have engaged some advocate to fight those legal cases. So you will contact the advocate and ask the advocate whether this is a complete list of litigation, or apart from this, whether any other litigations are there. Next, you will verify legal expenses account. See, by seeing legal expenses account also, you can come to know whether there are any litigations and claims against the company, because in the legal expenses, you will pay amount or fee to the lawyers and some other expenses to deal with these litigations. You will pay amounts to amounts, right, expenditure. That expenditure you will debit to legal expense account. So if you check legal expense account, you will come to know about litigation and claims that are against the company. So these procedures you will perform. Next, if the auditor assesses a risk of material misstatement regarding litigation or claim and seek direct communication with the entity's external counsel. Okay, auditor wanted to communicate with the external counsel, but management is not allowing to communicate with the external counsel. See, management refuses to communicate with the external counsel. Then auditor has to see whether he can obtain audit evidence from alternate audit procedures. If he is not able to obtain audit evidence from alternate audit procedures, then auditor has to modify the opinion. See, auditor is unable to obtain sufficient appropriate audit evidence by performing alternate audit procedure, then auditor shall modify the opinion. Hope that is clear. And another important point, whenever you are communicating with external legal counsel, you have to send such a communication on the letterhead of the management. You should not use letterhead of the auditor, because that legal counsel is unknown to you. Okay, legal counsel doesn't know you. Legal counsel is hired or employed by management. So legal counsel will respond if the request is sent on the letterhead of the management instead of letterhead of the auditor. Simple. Okay, so you have to use letterhead of the management for communicating with legal counsel. Coming to the last specific item, which is segment reporting, right? Presentation and disclosure of segment information. Basically, companies, if they are having a lot of businesses, they will bifurcate their businesses into segments, right? Let's say company is into business of car manufacturing, into business of motorcycle manufacturing, into business of bus manufacturing. Now these three can be bifurcated as segments and it can present as segment reporting. Or the company is doing business in India, in South Africa, in America. Now all these geographical regions can be separate segments, right? So segmentation can be done product wise, segmentation can be done geography wise. Okay, so now whether this segment information has been properly disclosed and presented or not, that you have to see. Basically there will be applicable standard. I don't exactly remember the accounting standard or Indian accounting standard number for this segment information, but there is a standard that deals with segment information. So you have to disclose the segment information as per that standard. So auditor has to verify whether the disclosure that is made in the financial statements is as per that particular standard or not. See, obtain sufficient appropriate audit evidence regarding presentation and disclosure of the segment information by management. How you will do? You will understand the methods that are used by the management. Okay, which methods the management has used for segment information and whether that method is as per the requirement of applicable financial reporting framework or not. See, whether such method results in disclosure as per applicable financial reporting framework or not. Next, you will test the application of such method. Okay, now management, by applying a particular method, they have arrived at particular disclosure, particular amounts. Now auditor, he will also apply that method and he will see whether the same amounts are being arrived or not. Okay, you will apply that method that the management has used. You will test application. Next, perform analytical procedures and other procedures. So by doing these things, you will check whether segment information has been properly presented and disclosed. Okay, so by this we have completed the revision of essay 501.